See you in Atlanta. LSU are in Atlanta. Here I am with my guy, Sage. I'll let everybody kind of get in here. We're going to be sharing this. So just 1 second and we'll get started. A lot to recap in this crazy bloodbath. LSU wins 13-10, throwing for 86 yards through the air. What does that remind you of? The Auburn game. Jaden Daniels with only 8 completions all night, only 15 attempts as well. We're going to be getting into all of it. But what we saw was a bruising, brutal, violent, vicious defensive struggle. That's what we saw. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I don't care. Get the job done. See you in Atlanta. We still have so much to work on with this passing game, with this offense. Don't let any of these other games fool you. We have so many deficiencies still to fix. But we're in the SEC championship game in Brian Kelly's first year. Unbelievable. Sorry, we're sharing this right now. We're getting this all sent out. We'll get everybody, whoever's going to watch, come on in here and start packing the comments with the live chat with as many views of this game as possible, because we got to hear it. We're doing what we always do. The second the game ends, we put it on right again. Just replay the game again, right from the beginning. And obviously, LSU did not start well. LSU, turning the ball over twice in that first quarter. Jaden Daniels throwing that interception. I believe it banged off someone's helmet. Went flying right into. Let's see who intercepted that ball. It was one of the 2 defensive backs I actually was calling out from Arkansas before the game. Brini. Latavius Brini. Yeah. He's someone with one of the worst pass coverage records on the team. He comes up with a huge interception. Let's see. Look. Very early in the game, Jaden Daniels made a few errors. And immediately people are saying, bench Jaden Daniels. I literally saw LSU fans who have been worshiping Jaden Daniels like he's the next Joe Burrow all week, now are saying, bench Jaden Daniels again after that offensive performance. Just shut up. Just shut up. Stop talking football because you just sound like an idiot. Never say anything about Jaden Daniels or this offense again. Like, I understand. There are deficiencies. There are issues with this offense. Duh. When someone like Kayshon Boutte and someone like Malik Neighbors only has Jack Besh only has 1 touchdown through 10 games, obviously something is up. Obviously something is wrong with this defense. With this offense. Obviously, regardless of the multitude of 40-point games we've been putting up lately in this season, regardless of all of that, there are still some glaring issues on this offense. And today, it almost cost us It almost cost us this game. And how horrifying would that have been to let Alabama get back in the SEC championship game picture after we stomped on that neck, put that boot on that throat, kept Alabama down, kept them in their place, sent a message, and then, all this momentum, LSU looked like they might be the next dynasty, all this stuff, and then they do that. They cough up this game to Arkansas. That would have been very hard to take. But there was one player who was not going to allow that to happen. There was one player who was not going to allow that to happen. No, it wasn't Jaden Daniels. No, it wasn't, Mason Taylor coming up with a few last-second catches. No, it wasn't Jaden Jenkins, who actually had a really poor game today. Don't know why he stays on the field when he's dropping passes and stuff. There's, just no rotation. I don't really understand that. Not saying Jaden Jenkins is awful and get him off the field, saying that, you make a few bad plays. Shouldn't someone kind of come in and take your spot? Anyway, there's one person, one LSU Tiger, who was not having it tonight, who was not going to sit back idly while this team threw away a major opportunity to create history in Brian Kelly's first season. Harold Perkins went off. This is the most dynamic, explosive, and all-around complete defensive performance I have ever seen from an LSU freshman, or maybe even a freshman defender in the SEC. This is the best. Outside of Derek Stingley's brilliant coverage, awesome ball hawking abilities in 2019, playing on a big stage, playing on a loaded veteran defensive roster. He had every tool, everything there to support him. Dave Aranda had been there for a few years. Everything was settled for Stingley to come in and be dynamic and to be great, and to stay out on that island and do his thing, which cut off half of the field for that LSU 2019 defense. But what Harold Perkins did tonight, tying Chuck Wiley's single-game LSU sack record with 4 sacks, had a 5th that was wrongfully disallowed, forces 2 fumbles, technically 3, a pass batted when he was playing outside in coverage, 3 quarterback hits, 8 overall tackles. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Harold Perkins single-handedly delivered victory for LSU. I know Jaquelin Roy had a great game. I know Mekhi Wingo was making a few plays. Okay. I know Greg Penn actually had 9 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and 1 breakup, and was the leading tackler today. Was damn good for LSU today. I understand that Savion Jones had a sack. He was looking good. B.J. Ojulari, not credited with a sack, which is kind of weird. I feel like he had one. Half tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit, 7 tackles, 3 solo. I feel like Ojulari, and a fumble recovery as well from Ojulari, had another great game. Unbelievable season for Ojulari here this year. Continues to build and deliver. But no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Harold Perkins is the MVP of this game, just not even defensively. Overall, the MVP of this game. I mean, Arkansas, Sam Pittman will have Harold Perkins eating at his brain, at his frontal lobe, in his sleep for the next year. I mean, oh my God. Huh, buddy? What's up, buddy? Huh? Harold Perkins completely ate that dude's face. Yeah. Whew. Harold Perkins just had one of the most electric defensive performances I've ever seen at LSU. One of the most game owning performances. On a night where LSU threw for 86 yards in the air on offense today. I mean, going right back to the Auburn game where we threw for 80 from Daniels, 85 on total on the night. Daniels throws for 86 yards, 1 interception on that first drive, 8 of 15, only 8 completions, only 4 overall total receivers. That's what's funny is what's funny is Harold Perkins was sick today. I don't know if you know this, but Harold Perkins was playing with the flu. Harold Perkins just did that with the flu. I mean, are you serious? He just did that with the flu? What the hell? He was throwing up before the game, Brian Kelly just said. I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, we wrote some profiles on Harold Perkins before the season. We thought he would be fantastic. We thought he would be a great player, coming in, making all these plays as a freshman. We did not see this his freshman year. We saw him being one of the best freshmen we've seen in a while defensively at LSU. Right up there. We did not see him starting every single game after a certain point, after the Tennessee game. We didn't see him, owning the field this much, having such control over circumstances every second, every play. When he's not out there, the defense are weaker. The offenses are actually scoring. Look at the Alabama game. When Perkins goes out, Alabama finally gets going. They score their first touchdown of the game. They finally get rolling. Okay. When Perkins is not on the field, Tennessee are able to build that unassailable lead and just keep piling on points. When Perkins is on the field, he's creating penalties. He's getting stops. No one can hold him. I mean, even if you can hold him back and get a holding penalty, you're still not even quick enough to get the penalty. You can't even stop him, no matter what. I mean, my God. I mean, we're just looking back through all this stuff we wrote about Harold Perkins and trying to find if we saw this coming. And we're just this is just nuts. We called him the New Orleans neutralizer, the NOLA neutralizer, and wow, Harold Perkins just went fucking crazy. Okay, that's what okay. My projection said, I believe Harold Perkins has a strong chance to see the field repeatedly as a freshman, perhaps even start later in 2022 alongside returning senior Micah Baskerville and second-year Tiger Mike Jones Jr. How things change with Mike Jones Jr. If defensive coordinator Matt House deems the NOLA neutralizer ready, and we know he is. Wow. Okay, so that's basically just what I thought. We didn't. It's not like we predicted anything, Nostradamus, but we had Harold Perkins as someone that you had to watch, someone that was inexplicably brilliant. I mean, he was so damn good against Ole Miss. Took that game over. takes the Alabama game over alongside B.J. Ojulari, has to be said. Mekhi Wingo as well. And tonight, while Ojulari and Wingo also played big roles in this game, both had a fumble recovery. Who created those fumble recoveries? Who created the fumble recoveries? Who created the fumbles? Who created the havoc? 40. Baby. That was one of the most incredible, breathtaking performances I've seen from a defender at LSU. Last year, you saw Damone Clark making some unbelievable plays, savage brilliance going all over the field, stuffing plays. You saw him keeping LSU in games, racking up the tackles, 20 plus tackles, 19 plus tackles, all that stuff. Okay. But Harold Perkins just went at Arkansas single-handedly and just completely just owned this game. The fact that he had the flu, the fact that he was throwing up before the game. I mean, is this the Michael Jordan flu game for Kelly? Sorry, for Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins didn't know who MJ is. Harold Perkins didn't know who MJ was. Perkins literally just had a flu game. And here's the thing, Landon Jackson was on this team last year wearing number 40. And he just left to go play for Arkansas wearing number 40. Jackson had a pretty good game tonight. Pretty good game this morning. Tonight. Half sack, one quarterback hit. But thank God we've got our number 40. Who decommitted from Texas A&M, refused all that money to play for his hometown LSU Tigers. I just cannot. I have to start there. We cannot get off of it. I cannot stop talking about it. The play where Hampton is faking him, and he's in the air, and he gets faked, and he still keeps his body in the same process and gets him to the ground. Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell did we just see from Harold Perkins? He just ripped everybody's faces off. Kevin Pavone says, that's a bad dude. Dude, I've been saying it all off season. Harold Perkins is going to be fucking awesome for LSU. He's going to be awesome for LSU. And, well, he's a freshman. So what? I did not see this coming. I saw Harold Perkins delivering a game, delivering turnovers, making huge plays, making sacks, having a lot of pressures, racking up tackles. I did not see him becoming LSU's, complete pinnacle, not only just on defense, but as on our team. Without Harold Perkins, this team is lost. He's almost like our compass in a way. Just 1 second. I know, buddy. Harold Perkins. We don't get to watch any more Harold Perkins for another week. I know. I'm going crazy too. it was basically the Harold Perkins game tonight. It was basically the Harold Perkins game because LSU scored, what, 13 points? I mean, this was a joke. We'll go through the entire game now generally after we just got out our Harold Perkins madness, which we're just going to continue to do all over this show. Jamer says Harold Perkins Jr. is NCAA Football Player of the Week. Make it happen. Oh, we know it. It's not just SEC. It's not just SEC. This dude just set college football alight. Jamer, and yes, I know there's no such Player of the Week thing. Well, there is. I mean, for the SEC, there definitely is. For each conference, there is. I'm not sure if the NCAA does that directly themselves. They should, because they can just give it to Harold Perkins right now and we can be done with it. Because no one's going to have a game like Harold just did. A game as decisive, as singularly... this outcome was decided by Harold Perkins. This game was decided by Harold Perkins. I mean, don't let anyone fool you otherwise. Because LSU were so poor offensively that we literally almost gave Arkansas this game. Josh Williams was our offense today. Josh Williams was LSU's offense today with 122 rushing yards, 19 carries, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. I mean, Williams was awesome. There was this play, and I think it was the first quarter, where it's 3rd and 18. 3rd and 18. I don't know what the hell we're doing running the ball, but Josh Williams gets a conversion out of the play from 3rd and 18. I was like, what? He was dragging bodies like he was Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs tonight. I mean, this was nuts. He was dragging bodies left and right, Hannibal Lecter style. I mean, he was, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Like, Josh Williams was smashing people. I mean, he was taking no prisoners, and that includes the referee. He went right over the referee and just smack-dogged that dude into the ground, and that referee was, and somewhere an LSU fan said, that's for the tip last week, damn it. Stay down. Like, sorry, buddy. I'm starting to get you a little excited because of my excitement. Huh? Sorry, buddy. I just feel really good right now because LSU are in the SEC championship game. We played like absolute garbage on offense. We played like absolute garbage for the most part on special teams, although, that awesome fake punt, first down conversion by Jay Bramblett sadly was called back due to a penalty, but it was a incredible play. Love the balls there to call that play. Sorry, not trying to be a misogynist by using the word balls. I just couldn't come up with a better term on the fly. So PC people, woke people, do not fear. But yeah, this was a game where Josh Williams was our offense. Jaden Daniels could not find a rhythm throwing the football. I don't even feel like we tried to throw the football. It was alarming. 86 passing yards, 8 of 15. Our leading receiver, Kayshon Boutte, typical stat line for this season. 4 catches, 49 yards, 0 touchdowns. And it all comes from basically one play, a long of 26. Malik Neighbors, just 2 catches for 24 yards. Josh Williams, 1 for 9, 1 total target. Jeray Jenkins, just 1 catch, 4 yards, 2 targets. Had another one where the ball was in his hands and it got smacked out of his hands. Where's Jack Besh on the field? I just have to ask this. I understand that some might say, well, you like Jack Besh. You're biased here. It just makes football sense. Jack Besh completely owned teams last year, completely owned this team during the spring game while playing hurt. I don't know how you can't be playing this guy more, how you can't be throwing this guy the ball. Try something different. Kyron Lacey, try him out there. Because when Dre Jenkins is making 1-2 catches a game, it's not okay. I understand Dre Jenkins has 6 receiving touchdowns, 7 receiving touchdowns this year, has been huge for us, has delivered big times. But there's a lot of games where he just goes missing, where Dre Jenkins just completely goes anonymous. And if you don't believe me, we're going to go through it, because I know there's going to be some that will be pissed off at me for even bringing this up, but I don't care. This receiving game can be so dynamic, so much better. And we've only seen really like just barely anything from this receiving game. Barely anything from this receiving game. Just Florida. Really just Florida, some plays against Alabama, some plays against Ole Miss. That's it. You know, Dre Jenkins in 2020, his leading yards was 85 against Mississippi State. Leading catches was 5. He had 5, 2, just 2 catches against Vanderbilt, 1 catch for 11 against Missouri, 3 for 76 against South Carolina, 2 for 30 against Auburn, 3 for 43 against Arkansas and a touchdown, 2 for 44 against A&M, 4 for 65, 1 touchdown against Florida, the team he plays the best against, and 1 for 11, 0 yards against Ole Miss. And then, of course, he had like 2 catches and 1 touchdown against Kansas State in the bowl game there. This season, okay, this is very interesting. Opens the season with 5 catches, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns against Florida State. 0 catches, 0 yards against Southern. Makes sense. He was probably only in the game for about a quarter and a half. Week 3 against Mississippi State. 23 yards, 3 catches, 1 touchdown. Just 23 yards, 3 catches. New Mexico, 5 catches, 57 yards. Against Auburn, a game where he was playing most of that game, if not all of that game. 0 receptions, 0 yards. Tennessee, 3 catches, 44 yards. Against Florida, 2 catches, 67, 1 touchdown. Against Ole Miss, 2 catches, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. Against Alabama, 0 receptions, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns. Dre Jenkins just has 20 catches all season. He's been a fantastic contributor for this team. 5 touchdowns he has. 5 touchdowns, but there are simply times where he is not cutting it. And you've got to get someone else out there. Why is Jack Bech not given an opportunity? When your receiving game is throwing for 84 yards, why are you not giving Jack Bech an opportunity? Why aren't you mastering the short passing, quick strike game and get Daniels in a rhythm? Because we were never able to. And it didn't even really matter. Arkansas, their horrible coverage, 18th worst in the nation. Arkansas State had higher coverage ratings on Pro Football Focus College than Arkansas going into this game. Well, tonight, after today, that's gone, because Arkansas were fantastic in coverage today. Absolutely shackled our receivers, but I think we helped them out quite a bit, because we were doing nothing passing the game. We were doing nothing in the receiving game. The route combinations were absolutely atrocious. Everything was just 5 yards and out, 5 yards and out, 10 yards and out. Jaden Daniels cannot throw that pass ad nauseum, no problem. Why are you making him throw these quick outs? Have the receivers going across the middle, which is also where the biggest weakness of Arkansas's defense is. I mean, I believe Jaden Catalon was out of this game. So, like, LSU just did a bad job today, passing-wise, in the receiving game, of really taking advantage of Arkansas. Dwight McLaughlin was shut down tonight. But then all the other guys, Blair, Latavius Brini, the two lowest rated contributors on that coverage in that secondary, and they were balling tonight. They were balling tonight. Wow. I'm going to share one more thing, and then we're going to be going into this game even more. I want your thoughts. I want your MVP. I want your whys, your whos. Why are LSU struggling in the receiving game? Why can LSU not throw the football? And how, in God's name, are LSU to win 2 games now where we can't even throw the ball over 100 yards? Can't even reach 90 yards on the day. It's just crazy to me. Just absolutely bonkers. Got a comment from Jamer. I meant national, LOL. I know you meant national. I was saying that there is an SEC Player of the Week. I'm not sure if there's an NCAA Player of the Week. I don't think you heard me. But yeah, that's what I meant. Once again, just I'm seeing people going after Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the problem. Jaden Daniels is the problem. You know, he can't recognize a blitz to save his life. Bench him, which is a really stupid comment said by somebody who was absolutely, kissing Jaden Daniels' ass the last week. So, I don't know. I just think people are so stupid in how they quickly jump off the Jaden Daniels bandwagon, jump back on it. People posting my quarterback after Alabama, my quarterback with pictures of Jaden, and then this happens and he can't recognize a blitz to save his life. Bench him, get him out of here, get that guy. Just shut up. Seriously, just shut up. People who were screaming at these guys, screaming at these players all season, and then freaked out and got to rush the field and celebrate after Alabama, got to troll all the Alabama fans because of these players, because of Jaden Daniels. And then we still win the game even though Jaden Daniels plays really poorly. And you can't help yourself but to attack Jaden Daniels. I mean, just sit back, shut up, buy your plane tickets to Atlanta, and realize Jaden Daniels just sent us to the SEC title game as LSU just won their 8th game of the season, which everybody was predicting LSU to just win 8 games, and that was it, or even fewer. 8 was as far as everyone would go. We picked 9 wins. We went with a 9-3 record, and even we're going to get that wrong. I mean, this team still have not played their best game. Their best game right now, I would venture to say, is probably against Florida or Ole Miss. You could also argue for Alabama, but just all encompassing, all around, probably Florida. There was no bad early start, except for defensively we were giving up points, but offensively we were able to match them, and then the defense completely switched around, and we were able to really clamp down on Florida. Ole Miss, you had the poorest offensive start, really awful on special teams, etc., etc. Had to come back in that game. This today was just a survive. Just survive. Just get to Atlanta. because Arkansas were doing everything they could to cost us this game. There's the fake punt again. I'm watching it. Hey Sage, you have some commentary, buddy? Have some commentary? Huh? Oh, Sage. What's up, buddy? Say hi to everybody. Yeah, my dad was here watching the game with us. He just took off about 15 minutes ago or so, 20 minutes ago before we started this. Oh, no, wow. We're already 36 minutes into this. So I guess he left about almost an hour ago. Um, I'm just so thrilled. LSU in year one under Brian Kelly are in the SEC championship game. Say it again. LSU are in the SEC championship game in Brian Kelly's first season. Holy shit. I mean, it almost was spoiled. We almost lost to a team not even playing with their starting quarterback. A team with the 18th worst rated pass defense. We only threw for 86 yards on them. Like, this game was set up perfectly for LSU to lose. Perfectly set up for LSU to lose this game. My question is, did Arkansas just fail to take advantage? Or are LSU just that impervious to pressure or impervious to whatever the hell is going on around them? Like, oh, we're playing like shit? Okay, that's fine. We're still going to beat you. Oh, we can't throw the ball? Okay, that's fine. We're still going to run it down your throat and beat you. Okay, our special teams just gave you 20 points, 17 points to open the game. Maybe we'll have Harold Perkins get 4 sacks and a few forced fumbles, and we'll be good, right? Like, it's incredible what we've seen from this LSU team, because there is an absolute will to win, a will to survive, a will to grind it out no matter what's going on. And that's what's great about a team starting from scratch. When you have a team that starts from scratch, you're able to really imprint your own mentality, identity onto this team, onto this squad. And Brian Kelly's definitely imprinted his own identity onto his team. They play like Brian Kelly. Heart, fight, never quit, never doubt yourself, ultimate confidence. And then when things go wrong, how do you adjust? How do you fix it? How do you respond? Things will go wrong in life, no matter what you're doing. How do you respond? That's what drives me nuts about our fan base. That's what pisses me off about our fan base. Is so many times when people make mistakes or things go wrong, Jaden Daniels has a game like tonight, suddenly it's just right back to get this guy out of here. Get him out of here. Bench him. I want Nussmeier. Like, forget everything that you just saw. I want Nussmeier. Like, are you serious? Like, sometimes our fan base, you've got to realize that this team, coming from what they're coming from, playing with how many, the depth that they have at certain spots, what they've been able to put on the field has been incredible. What they've been able to do is incredible. 16 transfers, a multitude of freshmen starting, and guess what? They're kicking ass and taking names. They've been dominant. Harold Perkins, dominant. Will Campbell, Emory Jones, outside of the last 2 games, dominant. And that's the thing. Will Campbell, Emory Jones should struggle against teams like this. They should struggle against a defensive line like Arkansas's or Alabama's. But my God, how good are you going to be coming into next year when all these guys have a year of experience playing like that at this level against the best? Mason Taylor as well, That's one thing today. There's a lot of times where I feel like, okay, you got Mason Taylor out there in the slot. There's no speed for him to take advantage of. I'd like to see Jack Bech sprinkled in a bit more. I understand you don't want me to say Jack Bech. You're going to keep hearing me say his name because it's an absolute travesty that he's on the sidelines. Someone just said Ole Miss are having to battle against the referees against Alabama. If you saw our interview with Mekhi Wingo this week, you definitely saw where Mekhi Wingo confirmed that the referees told him, yes, indeed, they knew he tipped the ball and they were still going to make the wrong call. That is stunning. And now you see Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss getting screwed here. But hey, Alabama wins. We're confirmed in the SEC title game. I'm just going to say it right now. We're in the SEC title game. We're not losing to A&M. We're not losing to UAB. Whoever else we're playing, I think those are the only two games that we have left. We're winning those games. We'll be fine. We've got some comments. Sorry, guys. I need to get back to these comments. AD, let's go. Dude, that was so much fucking fun, wasn't it? A Diesel, my man. We've been talking about Harold Perkins for like 2 years now. And this is what we knew was possible if he was on our team. Doesn't it feel so damn good watching this happen? TJ Turnt says, we are a young team. Yeah. I'm a young media guy or whatever the hell label you want to give me. I'm a young LSU guy. So it's about what's here. It's about what's here. The youth, inexperience, that can also equal drive. That can also equal want to more than your peers. There's a lot of times there's people who've been doing things for way too long, getting used to the grind. They don't take it. They take it for granted. They don't understand the value of everything that they do anymore. You see someone like Young come in and just take over. Harold Perkins tonight just went in there and just absolutely savaged their quarterbacks. I don't even know their quarterbacks' names after KJ Jefferson, like Malik Hornsby, and then Fortin. I mean, even Fortin, he threw for eight for 92 and 1 touchdown. Jaden Daniels, 8 for 15, 86 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick in the entire game. Fortin played maybe a quarter and a half. And Arkansas were, they had that big play from Landers, that 40-yard catch, but man, oh man, oh man. Our defense did a number on them. Only 249 total yards to Arkansas. Only 284 total yards from LSU. But here's the difference. LSU ran the ball for 198. Okay. 198. Arkansas 133. Average yards per play 4.3 for LSU. 3.7 to Arkansas. Average yards per complete, buddy. Average yards per completion, 10.8 from LSU, 9.7 to Arkansas. But this is to me is where the game is won or lost. This is to me where like the Josh Williams touchdown could be wiped off the board if you're not excelling or at least doing better than your opponent in this category. Average yards per rush, we're only at 3.9. But in this type of game, that's probably as best as you're going to get because look at Arkansas, 2.9. We held Arkansas to 2.9 yards per rush. Their leading rusher, Raheem Sanders, 46 yards for Sanders. I got to see what Sanders, low for the season is. I know he had 6, maybe 7 100-yard games coming into this year. Coming into this game. He was definitely the guy I was afraid of coming into this game. And I called it. I said, he is their only weapon. Arkansas are going to be so one-dimensional. But in the back of my head, I thought, what if LSU are one-dimensional too? But then I was like, no, not against this secondary. Our receivers are going to go off. Booty's going to be MVP, 2 touchdowns. Malik is going to get another. Besh is going to score as well. Nope. Okay, Raheem Sanders, in the loss to A&M, he had 17 for 68. Against Mississippi State in that loss, 20 rushes, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Against Liberty, he had 17 for 60. 60 yards against Liberty. Just 60 yards against Liberty. So today, 46 yards for Sanders. That is his season low, held to his season low by LSU's absolutely unfathomably kick-ass defense. I mean, this defense forcing these quarterbacks to absolutely just into a tomb. Their backfield was a fucking tomb today. They had nowhere to go. But then if you look on the other side, LSU, the reason we were so porous, I shouldn't say porous, the reason we were so disastrous offensively was really about Arkansas's pressure, in my opinion. Not really even their coverage. I feel like we could have beaten their coverage had Jaden Daniels had more time. Jaden Daniels was sacked 7 times tonight. That was the season high 7 times that he was sacked. We got some more comments. Adrian Perkins says Josh Williams did his motherfucking thing. Dude, he was awesome. I love watching Josh Williams, and maybe I should no, I'll keep that a secret. I'll keep that one a secret. Just keep it tuned to LSUODYSSEY.com and you'll know what we mean. Hey buddy, you want to do the show with me? You want to do the show with me? You want to do this show with me, buddy? Huh? Mwah. Mwah. That make you go weird? That make you all confused? And you're like, what the hell was that? Huh? Everybody at Sage, say what up to Sagey. This is Sage James Charles Phillips. Oh, you good smile for the people, huh? Good smile for the people. Oh, my sweet boy. I have to make a confession. This was scary. Earlier I was changing his diaper, and my dad's about to show up. We're about to watch the game. It was like the pregame. We're watching College Game Day. Sage slept awesome last night, and so it was like, this is great, and I'm changing his diaper. I'm heating up his bottle. His milk is all cold. I'm heating it up putting it in a bowl of water, making sure it's getting heated up. And while I'm doing that, I see that he's starting to turn. He's starting to slip on his pad, his diaper changing pad, there on the island here on the couch. And the island is huge, so he had plenty of room. And he's starting to kind of slip, and so I go over there and I straighten him back out, put him back up, and I'm like, dude, chill. I literally turned my back for 5 seconds. I'm not even saying like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th second, I hear, and he had fallen. He rolled off the island and fell. And yeah, he fell about 2 or 3 feet up. So we're not really talking a big fall. And he fell onto the carpet. So nothing hurt. I'm expecting screaming. I'm expecting him to be hurt. I'm expecting a head injury. He landed on his chest with his head up like this, going like that. And I pick him up and he just stares at me and starts smiling. He just stares at me and starts smiling after he fell. This little dude, you're a toughie, huh? You're a tough little tiger, huh? You're a tough little tiger, huh? Well, toughness and grit, man. That's what AD said. Toughness and grit. That's how this team has done it. Jamer says, AD, my buddy. See, that's the thing, guys. You guys got to realize we know each other. AD sold Jamer and I. We've been talking for years now. It's probably been like 3 years now. AD Jamer. Adrian Perkins says, guys with the last name Perkins are great. Prime example, me and Harold. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Jamer says, hey, Sagey, Auntie Jamer heard you. You hear her? You hear Auntie Jamer, Sage? She hears you. She hears you. Arkansas's defensive line played well, Big Boy 46 Hard Knocks says. I agree. 7 sacks, constant pressure. I mean, I bet they probably had as many pressures as LSU did tonight. I really would say so. Absolutely freakish. Absolutely freakish. And they put Jaden Daniels in really bad situations, too, defensively. The way that they pressured him, he was never able to find a hole and to take off. I mean, look at his rushing for the game. Jaden Daniels, I think this is a season low, obviously. 10 yards rushing. I mean, that's the most incredible stat. That's the most incredible stat of the night. Obviously, that is his season low, probably his career low, even with like sack adjusted numbers and all that crazy shit. This was a game of survival. Jaden Daniels had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. I mean, he was being hunted. Hunted. I just could not believe how well they were able to track Jaden Daniels. Because here's the thing: once he went through the hole, he would see daylight, and those windows were closing so remarkably fast, so remarkably quick. It was crazy. There's that big John Emery run. Of course, John Emery, that ball, even though he was down on the ground, my God, man, hold on to the fucking ball. Like, I love John. I love his parents. Hold on to the ball, dude. Seriously. That's like your number one job above anything, above getting touchdowns, above getting yards, above pass pro even. Like, hold on to the ball, dude. Hold on to the ball, man. Michael Deneen just posted and said, this team was flat today. Perkins was just phenomenal. Sometimes you need greatness individually to elevate you collectively. And that's what we saw today. That's what we saw today. Yep, there we go. I mean, I just watched Will Campbell give up a sack right there. That's rare. From a true freshman playing in the SEC West, and for me to say that's rare that he's giving up a sack, absolutely nuts. Chelsea is at Lava Hot Springs, so we got it's the boys. It's just the boys up in here. What do you guys want to talk about with this game? Because this game was very, I don't know if it was flat. I don't know if it was what was going on, but just the lack of offensive production, the lack of just anything going on besides the defensive insanity was really, it made the game strange. It made the game a strange watch. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but me and my dad were just kept turning to each other and saying, "This game is weird to watch. This game is weird. It's not that it's low scoring. It's just been strange." Jamer says, "I heard Sage say go Tigers." Go Tigers! I know people are probably turning this off because of Sage squealing and screaming. I'm sorry, but we can only do what we can do. I'm not gonna just put my son upstairs by himself. Like if he was asleep, different story. But I love being a dad, so I'm gonna have my son right here, and I'm gonna have my son do the post game show with me because I want him here. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. That's okay. I mean, but I know there's some people who do, like you, Jamer. Tari Love, how many names you had to give your baby? Well, about as many tackles as your guy Greg Penn had today. Tari, you were saying Greg Penn doesn't belong in the SEC. Greg Penn isn't an SEC linebacker. Well, he's had a really strong couple games since you said that. And today, leading tackler Greg Penn, 9 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 pass broken up. Greg Penn was fantastic for LSU today, and subtly. So, sometimes we say some things. Sometimes I say some things that you wish you could take back. Greg Penn is an SEC linebacker. He's not perfect. He's not amazing. He's not got Harold Perkins speed. Obviously, it's Harold Perkins speed. Only one guy has that speed. But Penn is showing me what I want to see, which is more versatility than just being a bruising, uh, enforcing linebacker. That doesn't cut it anymore in college football or football in general. It doesn't cut it anymore. You have to be able to mirror ball carriers. You have to be able to match speed. You have to be able to match physicality. It's you have to do it all at once too, and sometimes you have to match uh, ability in the air. And that's why you're seeing so many linebackers or safeties when they're coming through in high school. You see so many of them being developed, as linebackers, as safeties. You see so many of them being run out there as running backs or receivers to get them those reps, to get them that experience, to get that speed going, get that physicality, that motor, those motor skills of this is what I do when I'm chasing down a linebacker. Sorry, this is what I do when I'm chasing down a running back. I know exactly what to do because that's exactly what I did. That's why you see Harold Perkins playing to his optimum, is because Perkins was developed right. And I believe it was Cy Creek. Here, buddy. Perkins is able to mirror ball carriers exactly. Like, it's stunning. It is stunning. Here, sorry, I think he's got some congestion. I'm going to give you one of these, but you're going to give you something else. Just 1 second, everybody. Sage, hold still. Gotta get this up your nostril. Hold still, buddy. Hold still, Sagey. There we go. There's one. Sorry, guys. Babies are quite time consuming. I thought this would take 5 seconds, and it's taking like a minute. There we go. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about this. There's no Chelsea to watch him or take him or I trying to do what I can. Trying to keep the show going. Trying to keep this little guy alive. Come here, buddy. Come here. We're going to get you on this show. Poe English, what's up, my man? Poe English just says, just getting off work. Great news, we got it done. Toast to you. No, toast to you, my man. Seriously, like this is what it's about. Tiger fans getting together, loving on this team. I don't care about the deficiencies of this team. We have all night and day to talk about what's wrong, why offensively we keep going back to the same issues, having the same problems in the passing game. We will figure that shit out. But the fact that we keep winning games despite these issues, what can you say? What can you say? Yes, we looked pretty ugly today. I mean, we looked as ugly as, the shallow Hal lady, like, I mean, it was ugly as, Michael Jackson after the fourth, plastic surgery thing, as ugly as me, walking around in Louisiana last March, like it was damn hideous. It was hideous. It was as bad as a Limp Bizkit live concert. Okay. It was hideous. This is like, watching Evanescence record an album. It was not fun. It was hideous. But watching this back, I just see so many moments where LSU could have lost this game. So many points, so many positions where LSU could have lost this game. Where LSU could have folded and said, yeah, it's not our night, not our day, not our night. I keep saying night. This game has been literally in the fucking morning. Opposite of night, Lon. Stop saying that. See, here we go. Spread out wide, 4 wide at the goal line, 4th and 4. Penalty, false start, screws it all up. And you can see it in Kayshon Boutte's eyes that the ball was coming his way and he's pissed. I mean, Kayshon cannot get in the damn end zone to save his life. The dude caught the ball an inch away from the end zone today and just barely gets shoved back. I mean, like, it's unbelievable how this guy can't get in the end zone. How this guy can't get the ball more than like 3 or 4 times a game. It's strange to me that we cannot find a place or a role for Jack Bech more than 6 or 7 snaps a game. I mean, I don't think these coaches really understand how effective he could be for this offense. But clearly this offense needs help. I mean, I heard it the last few weeks. Well, what are you talking about Jack Bech for when you got Brian Thomas Jr. and Kayshon and Malik and then Jure? Where's he going to go? How are you going to fit him in? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I think you got to fit him in now because this offense needs something. And I don't know about you, but if you go back and you watch the 2021 games that we were successful in, that we won, when Jack Bech is getting the football early in those games, in those games where we won, where we played well on offense, there's a common denominator. Jack Bech is getting the ball early and often and getting everything in rhythm. He might not finish the game with 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, but his 6 for 70, and maybe 1 score, those type of numbers get everything rolling, and then it, absolutely wears down the secondary. It gets the safeties to peek up on him and maybe forget about Jaden Daniels hitting a Kayshon Boutte over the top. Um, those little routes are what absolutely, it's not dink and dunk in my opinion. It's, land of 1,000 slices. Just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting until the pieces of your body just fall out, like a Jenga. And that's what LSU could do offensively with Jaden Daniels. And we've seen it offensively with Jaden Daniels here and there. We've seen it offensively where Boutte's getting the ball here and there. We've seen it where, against Florida, Jaden went off. Kayshon went off. We saw big plays routinely. And that's what we're missing here. The dink and the dunk, the 5, 6 yard, 4 yard completions create the 27-yarder downfield. They create the 35-yard pass down the sidelines. It creates the 65-yard bomb. You got to get these safeties to push up and to bite, and then you hit them over the top. That's what football is about. Is it just to put it very simply, it's about manipulating space. It's about manipulating personnel into an area, out of an area, away from an area so that you can attack the area, whatever. Across the board, football is a game of manipulation of space, a manipulation of personnel. Den Brock calling these plays against Alabama, he was working Pete Golding and Saban's defense one way, working them in the other, working them back in there. You could not, it was so unpredictable because we gave them so many damn looks, especially even within just one setup, one formation. We'd give them 5 or 6 different looks within the same basic play call. Oh, shoot, they're running up in a bunch set with the RPO shotgun setup. Okay, they're going to run this play that they just barely did. And then we have, our running back suddenly motion out of the backfield out wide. And then they're like, what the hell? No. Scrap that. They're going to do this. And then, we do this type of play call. And then they're like, okay, shit. They just ran this set. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to motion him out, blah, blah, blah. And then we completely do the same call and then do it completely differently, where we have a receiver motion into the backfield next to Daniels. So you got a running back and a receiver both in the backfield with Daniels. There's so a variety of things that you can do to mix and match and work a defense. And the rules of the game have changed now. They've let offenses be able to line up almost wherever you want. And I want to see some more interesting formations, some more interesting combinations of personnel. And we just didn't see Jaden Daniels throw the football with any. I mean, he just didn't throw the football. He just didn't fucking throw the football. That's just what must be said. He didn't throw the ball. Once again, goes back to the same thing. When Daniels gets worried, when things get way too fast, when the game is getting when things are getting too fast, too closed in on him, he tends to just tuck it and take a 1-2 yard negative play, maybe a 2-3 yard gain, walk it out of bounds type of thing, rather than risk an interception, which fine, because maybe that wins us the game today, is playing a conservative form of quarterback to keep us in this game, not give any more turnovers to Arkansas, because we were lucky. We were lucky, huh, buddy? We were lucky that we only gave away, I think, 3 points off turnover. Let's see here. Yep, only 3 points off the 2 turnovers. Just 3 points. Hey, buddy. Want to say hi to everybody? You think you'll be doing post games with me as my co-host when you're older, huh? We have a show together, huh? Would you want to do that? You gonna follow in my footsteps or say, "Get the head out of my way, Daddy"? You gonna punch me in the face with your little hands like you did yesterday, huh? Sweet little boy. Humda, 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 humda. Hunda, hunda, seiji, hunda, 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 seiji, seiji, hunda, hunda. Seiji, say hi to the camera. Simba, hunda, na, hana, hana, hunda, hunda, na, hana, hana. Simba, the land of Simba. This child, my child. He's just like, Dad, you're fucking weird. I can't believe LSU are in the SEC championship game. And you know what's great about this, buddy? Is it gives us a chance to get down there. Gives us a chance to get down there, huh? Gives us a chance to see this team. Without this SEC championship game, without these extra games, maybe there's a chance that we don't see LSU this season. But with there being this SEC championship game, I think we're going to be able to go down there and be able to see this game. Yep, it is an exact 180 from last year. It's basically the same type of bloodbath uh, fuck fest, but instead LSU are the one who are kind of leading and control and kind of pull away. But just absolute savage games, just these last 2 years, just bludgeonings, really. Brandon Reese says, "I'm just glad we took care of business, regardless of what happens between Bama or Ole Miss." Well, yeah, man, because here's the thing: it really doesn't even matter what happens between Bama or Ole Miss. I understand everyone's afraid of Alabama. No one wants them even remotely close to having a chance. I get it, but don't worry, they're out of this. I mean, do you think LSU were going to lose to Texas A&M? Do you think LSU were going to drop a game against UAB? I don't think so. Huh, buddy? We're not going to lose to A&M. No way. No way. I mean, even just the thought of that makes you cry, huh? I know, buddy. Just the thought of losing to A&M makes me terrified, dude. It makes me terrified. Here, buddy. Extra stomach. I just sense that maybe LSU, yeah, maybe there was a Bama hangover. Maybe this team was beaten up from the Bama game. Maybe the worst thing that could have absolutely happened before this type of a game was for everyone to just want to talk about Alabama and just keep asking about Alabama and Alabama and Alabama and what happened on the final play and why'd you call the 2-point conversion and did you tip the ball, Mackay? Did you do this? You know, and we played right into that because we interviewed Mackay on Thursday or sorry Wednesday night, and we could have been part of that distraction as well, which is why we tried not to ask him questions about Alabama. And I think we accomplished that pretty well. Oh my God. AD says LSU last year was injured, bad season, playing at home with a backup quarterback, playing a hot team, and game was tight. Yeah, but I mean, Arkansas 2021 to LSU 2022. No way are those two teams the same type of hot, That's why I was kind of like, what you mean by the comparison? Because to me, Arkansas were still just a shit team last year. I mean, maybe not a shit team, but LSU should have beaten that team last year. If Max Johnson starts that game, I feel LSU win that game. I know Garrett Nussmeier had an unbelievable play, unbelievable, spin away from the sack, throw the touchdown in the back of the end zone at Jack Besh. One of the best plays we saw all season, really. Um, that play was disgusting. But outside of that, we did nothing to really push them. Max Johnson plays that game. We win. We win that game. I think they what did they beat us? Something like 16-13 or something. Yeah, I think it was 16-13. I'm not looking it up, but I think it was 16-13. I remember Ty Davis Price had a good game that game, and of course Jack Besh had the 66 yards, 70 yards, and a touchdown, something like that. Had the touchdown in the back of the end zone. It was just brilliant. That play from Garrett Nussmeier was brilliant. But really, this year, Arkansas, they screw themselves with the schedule. Everyone knows that. But really, what this game comes down to me for is, Arkansas were up to really give us an upset, to really, make us pay all across the board. And you saw their defensive line play like that. Their defensive line were playing like absolute freaks out there. Some of those dogs were just absolutely balling today against LSU. Drew Sanders, 12 tackles, 1 sack, one tackle for loss. He was absolutely amazing today, leading tackler for both teams. Wow. Really affected a lot of plays today. Leading tackler for both teams, really played a lot. But, Chris Paul Jr., 2 sacks today. Rashad Stewart, 1 sack. Zach Williams, half a sack. Terry Hampton, another sack. Landon Jackson, former Tiger, a half a sack. Eric Gregory, a full sack. These are big plays that are costing yards. 4 sack yards. Okay. 16 sack yards from both of Chris Paul Jr.'s sacks. 1 sack yard, 12 sack yards, 14 sack yards on 1 play, 2, and then 8. That's a joke. There's so many yards were given up right there. So really, we rushed the ball for 239 yards today without the sack yards taking off, 41 yards there. So really, we actually rushed the ball for 5.4 per carry today, not 3.9. It's a big difference with those sacks. And if you take away half of those sacks, maybe Daniels has like 160, 170 passing yards and a touchdown today because maybe he hit someone deep down the field because he has the time. The sacks, the pressures absolutely killed LSU's offense today. And I'm trying to see as I'm watching this back, where were the biggest issues on the offensive line for LSU today? Who was really having a bad day today? And we'll get to that. We'll find that. But I'm a little alarmed. Just a little alarmed by how easy Arkansas were able to attack Jaden Daniels routinely, repeatedly, ruthlessly, relentlessly. It was nonstop. I don't know what this team needed to do or still needs to do to figure out the passing game. But I feel, calling routes that go over the middle, calling routes that accentuate yards after catch ability, playing Jack Besh, playing Kyron Lacey if your guys aren't producing, if Jeray Jenkins is going to have one catch for 4 yards type of numbers. You know, that's what you have to do. I don't know if anybody's going to debate me on this, but I feel Jeray Jenkins hasn't been productive enough game to game. Yes, he's had touchdowns and he's had big, timely plays that have absolutely won us games and helped change this season into a contending season. That is clear and plain as day for everyone to see. But game to game, he does not produce enough for this offense. Just 2 catches randomly, just 1 catch here, just 3 catches. Like, he's got to have it more. And I understand there was a big drop by Malik Neighbors today. Big drop on 3rd down. Would have kept the ball, could have kept the chains moving. Right in his hands, just drop it. There was a few plays that were dropped by our receivers today. Jeray had a drop as well. I don't think it'll be called officially, but it was. This is an offense that I think the receivers weren't used enough all season, to the point that now they're a little jaded. Now they're a little like, well, I'm not going to get the ball anyway, so whatever. And then suddenly the ball's coming their way and they're not ready for it. Because, I mean, it's just, I don't really see that. I don't really feel that, because these receivers are still blocking with intensity. They're blocking like mini Hines Wards out there, really taking it to every opponent. And they're running routes beautifully. I'm seeing guys that are open. I'm seeing guys that are they're making, able to make plays, able to catch contested passes, but the ball is not arriving to them or accurately enough for them to make a play. Really, today the ball just was not going near them, because Jaden Daniels was on the ground. We have not seen Jaden Daniels under such duress. We have not seen Jaden Daniels sacked so much, and we have not seen Jaden Daniels be so ineffective. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe that we can throw for 80 yards in 2 SEC games against 2 SEC opponents and still win. And still win the damn game. How on earth is it happening? Well, it was really a little bit of Josh Williams and a lot of Harold Perkins today, because that's how we're going to end this. You can't start an Arkansas post game without talking about Harold Perkins. You can't finish this Arkansas post game without talking about Harold Perkins. This was one of the most boundlessly brilliant performances I've seen ever. Ever. Ever in college football. I don't want to get caught up in the hyperbole. I don't want to get caught up in the high emotion. But I have a great feeling that we will be watching back on these plays and watching what he did time and time and time again over the next 20 years. Because when Harold Perkins becomes one of those legendary Tigers, which he already is in my mind, but when he becomes a bona fide definitive Tiger legend, this is everyone's going to point back to these unbelievable plays, not just against Arkansas, against Alabama, against Florida. I mean, think about it this way. Perkins has also had 2 strip sacks denied by penalty. You know, he one today that was denied by penalty. I mean, sorry, not by penalty, but by they said it was an incomplete pass when it absolutely was not. It was just the dude's follow through going forward. The ball was already gone. He had no control of that football. And then the one against Florida as well, where Mekhi Wingo recovered it. So Harold Perkins, all the stats you want to tally him up, all the numbers you want to tally him up, he still has even more that's really like not even being accounted for. It's just it's stunning. It's stunning what Harold Perkins has done. Um, and we're an early fan. We're an early fan, you know, of Harold Perkins. But I mean, here's the thing too. There was a no gain. He tackled Malik Hornsby for a no gain on 3rd and 12. That's about a centimeter away from being a sack, being a 5th sack, which would be the LSU all-time leading mark. And that's the thing I just saw right there is Harold broke up a pass on 3rd and 10. On 3rd and 10, broke up a pass. Okay. He uh he sacked Malik Hornsby on 3rd and 18. He basically had a sack, the 5th sack, what I just basically said, the no gain tackle on 3rd and 12, 7 minutes, 51 seconds left in the second. That's another one on Hornsby. That's another one on 3rd and 12. Another one on third. And then to open the game with his biggest, with the big play, the strip sack, loss of 17. You know, where he makes an unbelievable play, strip sack. Ojolari recovers it, and that's the difference in this game, right there. LSU did not score a point off their turnovers, but it just denied Arkansas any room to do anything. 116 passing yards from Arkansas, 133 rushing yards from 46 attempts, 2.9 per. This was a very interesting game, but really all that matters is LSU were 3 for 3 inside the red zone. We had the ball for 5 minutes longer, just marginally more total yards, about 50 plus 55 plus more rushing yards, the same exact number of first downs as each other. Um, at least we were 1 of 2 on 4th down as well. It's just there's a lot of evenness in this game. Both offenses were shit, but we ran the ball better, and then we had Harold Perkins. We had Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins was on our sideline. That's the difference between Arkansas and LSU as of today, November 12th of 2022. On November 12th, 2022, Jaden Daniels didn't separate LSU from Arkansas. The hero against Alabama could not separate us. Malik Neighbors could not separate us. Kayshon Boutte could not separate us. Josh Williams, even though he had 122 yards, 19 carries, and a touchdown, still couldn't separate us. The young man who separated these two teams split like a steamed asparagus, to quote Jack Marucci. The one dude to make this game all LSU's, to book our seat on the plane going to Atlanta. Who was it? Who was it? What's that? Harold Perkins. Oh my God, Harold Perkins. So much fun watching Harold Perkins do what he do. And here's the thing. His uncle Kevin told me my nephew's going to be the best freshman ever play at LSU. He told me that back in July. My nephew is going to be the best freshman to ever play in purple and gold. And I said, well, defense or offense? And he said, both. So, best freshman ever? Freshman GOAT? Are we to that level yet? Sending out some invites to see if people want to join the post-game show. Oh, Sagey. You're probably getting sick of me talking, huh? You sick of me talking? Harold Perkins had the flu game today. He had a Michael Jordan flu game for us today. I cannot wait to see how many pressures he had. He probably had like 13 fucking pressures. Beginner to expert pro HVAC says BK couldn't get a freaking Harold Perkins in Notre Dame. And that's why people like Brian Driscoll are hiding right now, my man. I'm just going to call you expert pro because that's an expert pro comment, brother. Yes. Sage, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. Let's get you your pacifier, buddy. We don't want the people's ears to be blown out by your little squealies. But yeah, it just shows you the difference in talent and quality that you can get at LSU that you can't get anywhere else. Well, I mean, you can get a few other places, but what makes LSU special is that you get the combination. People just go to Alabama. Players just go to Alabama to win championships. They don't love it there. They don't want to be there. They don't give a damn about the guy next to them. They just want the championships and they want to go to the NFL and move, be on their way. Players come to LSU because they love the state of Louisiana. They love the city of Baton Rouge. They love to wear the purple and gold right here, right what I'm wearing. They love to play SEC football. They love everything about Louisiana State University. They love the culture. They love the people. And they grew up watching guys like number 3, Kevin Falk, going off. They grew up watching these national championship teams. And no one wins more swaggering and more unforgettably beautiful than LSU teams. Joe Burrow, you can't even, that team was more swaggering than, they define the word swagger. They define it. You just look up the word swagger, confidence, 2019 LSU right there. Saban's 2003-04 LSU Tigers team. Everyone said that team doesn't belong in this game. That team doesn't belong in this game. It should be USC versus Auburn. It should be USC versus Auburn. No, it should have been LSU versus USC, to be honest. LSU absolutely destroyed the Heisman Trophy winner, Jason White, and they do it with pick six. They do it with an, you know, unbelievable fashion where you just got this team absolutely destroying and eating Oklahoma's face. Um, no one had ever seen a defensive performance like that in a national title game outside of the 1980 Sugar Bowl, where Penn State were able to shut down Georgia. Or was it? Yeah, Penn State, Georgia. Sorry, I have this baby squealing at me. Sagey, chill. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. My voice is probably getting him all upset. Beginner to expert says, I agree with everything you're saying. There's nothing else like the boot. Nope. That's why I just went in that impassioned speech that was sadly interrupted by this little guy, because it's just like, that's why Harold Perkins wanted to play at LSU. 1 second. That's why Harold Perkins wanted to play at LSU. He wanted to come back home. He wanted to represent the purple and gold. And he wanted to follow a legacy, a tradition. These Alabama players that are currently going to Alabama, they don't give a damn about who played there. They don't know anything about like Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, or Landon Collins, or Trent Richardson, or you know Jerry Jeudy, Julio Jones. They don't know any of these guys. They don't care. LSU, on the other hand, we have current guys who are just interested, not even on the roster, but just interested in going to LSU, who are obsessed with Justin Jefferson, who are obsessed with Devin White, who are obsessed with Alan Faneca, who are obsessed with Andy Whitworth, who are obsessed across the board with Grant Delpit, Tyrann Mathieu, it's Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There's so many like favorite players of our fans and our fan base, and so many favorite players of ours that kind of transcend teams and loyalty, because everybody just loves LSU players. Everyone just loves LSU Tigers because you always watch them in the NFL. They always play for your team. So that's the reason Harold Perkins wanted to come back and do this. And now LSU are in the SEC title game, because Alabama aren't going to catch up with us mathematically, and neither will Ole Miss. And we hold the tiebreaker over both. Yes. Yes, Sage. Excitement. We are going to Atlanta, buddy. We're going to Atlanta, Sagey. Ooh, he needs a change. That's what's going on. Beginner to expert pro says, I'm on daddy duties as well. Yeah, man. It's kind of rough, but how could I not love this little dude? Beginner to expert pro, my man says, Eli Ricks not starting in the game against Ole Miss. Freaking clown. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about his mental strength? Sage? What does that tell you about his mental strength? What does that tell you about his ability to respond from adversity? He came into LSU wagging his finger just because Jaden Daniels threw the ball out of bounds, thought he was God because he had 4 pass breakups against Mississippi State, thinks he's going to be able to shut down Kayshon Boutte and Malik Neighbors in one of our worst passing offenses. I think probably the worst passing offense LSU has ever seen, basically, when you compare the talent that we have to throw it to and the production that has come from these guys. Yes, I would say it's probably the worst we've ever seen in the 21st century, maybe even beyond for LSU. And still, Eli Ricks was cooked. Still, Eli Ricks was burned. Still, Eli Ricks was absolutely crisped. I mean, think about it this way. He gives up 2 touchdowns if he doesn't give up those 2 pass interference calls. He's got Malik Neighbors in the end zone. He just rips him down because that's a touchdown. So Eli, we did things to Eli that no one will ever be able to undo. And I feel bad because Eli Ricks was an unbelievable player. Eli Ricks was a player I absolutely loved watching at LSU. But you do what you did to LSU in the way that you did. I don't care if you want to transfer to Alabama. I still would have supported Eli Ricks. Still would have backed him as a human being had he still gone to Alabama. It's how he went about it. It's about the number 7 on the back of his uniform, the picture to announce it. He knew what he was doing. He knew damn well what he was doing, and now he can go back to his vague tweets, his vague bullshit. And Alabama fans can worry about that this time. Alabama fans can cry and scream and wonder and worry if he's going to come back, because we've washed our hands. We don't care, and we just absolutely roasted him, and that felt great, didn't it? That felt great, didn't it, my man? And as we see, my man does feel great. Beginner to expert pro, bro. You seem like my type of guy. You have got to follow us on LSUODYSSEY.com. That is the site where we post all of our stuff. The videos, that's only a very small part of what we do. The site has all of it. The writings are our main cup of joe. Follow us here too, man. At Lon Phillips on Twitter. At Lon Phillips on Twitter. Facebook.com/Carl Kaufman. At Lon Phillips Sullivan on Instagram. Everybody check us out with the little guy's going crazy. I gotta bail, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I know you've been putting up with this squealing baby for me during this thing. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. We're in the SEC championship game. LSU football are back to the first SEC championship game since 2019. And it feels good. Everybody, we'll see you next week when we kick UAB's ass.